Juicy, and this show focuses on reviewing scripts, movies, filmmaking, and music provided for films and TV shows and much more. So sit back and relax. In this episode, we reviewed the script for the movie An American Werewolf in London. But before we do that, make sure you smash that thumbs up or like button. Go ahead and share the video, comment, follow, do all that neat stuff. We'd love to have you join the Juicyfroot family. We want to hear from you about what you thought about this show and what you think is going to make great content in the future. What kind of movies or scenes, TV shows, or music like soundtracks do you guys want us to explore next time? You know you want to do it, so do it. We're going to review the script for An American Werewolf in London, and the synopsis is: two American college students on a walking tour of Britain are attacked by a werewolf that none of the locals will admit exists. It was released in 1981. It was directed by John Landis. It was written by John Landis. And it stars David Naughton, Griffin Dunne, and Jenny Agutter. So we'll start here. We're in the Slaughtered Lamb in East Proctor. And Jack turns to the crowd after the joke and says, "Excuse me, well, what's that star on the wall for?" Dead silence. A dart lands in the wall. David and Jack are understandably bewildered. The villagers look hard indeed. Dart player, angry. "You made me miss." Jack, "I'm sorry." Dart player, "I've never missed that board before." David, Jack, "We better go." Jack, "What do you mean? I'm starving." Dart player, "There's no food here." Villagers look threatening, and David's voice is a bit urgent. David, "Come on, Jack, shall we go?" Jack, "Apparently so." The boys pick up their backpacks and move uncertainly for the door. Women, "You can't let them go." David, worried, "How much do we owe you?" Chess player, "Nothing, lads. Go, God be with you." David, Thank you." Woman, "Wait, you can't just let them go." Dart player, "Go, and stay on the road. Keep clear of the moors." David, "Yes, well, thanks again." Chess player, "Beware the moon, lads." David pushes Jack out. Outside of the Slaughtered Lamb at night. It is very cold. Jack, "What the hell was that all about?" David, "I don't know. Let's see if there's an inn or something up the road." Jack, "Beware the moon?" David, "Come on, I'm freezing." They start up the road into the night. Inside the Slaughtered Lamb at night. It is quiet. Woman, "You can't let them go." Dart player, angry, "Should the world know our business?" Chess player, "It's murder then." Dart player, "Then murder it is. It's in God's hands now." The wax drips from the pentagle's candles onto the floor. Dissolve too. Outside, a road on the moors. Night. David and Jack, walking on the road surrounded by darkness. David, "That was weird. I guess leaving was the best idea." Jack, "I don't know. Now that we're out here and it's 3 degrees, I'm not sure I wouldn't rather face a bloodthirsty mob." David, "Well, not quite a bloodthirsty mob." They keep walking. Jack, "What do you think was wrong?" David, "I have no idea." Jack, "Maybe that pentangle was for something supernatural." David, "I see," and they were too embarrassed to talk about it because they felt so silly. There's a flash of lightning that sends a ghostly illuminating sheet of light over the boys' faces. Clap of thunder follows, loud and rumbling. David, "Please don't rain. Downpour. The boys are walking in a deluge." David, "Of course." They walk, getting soaked. Jack, "Hey, David." David, "I'm well aware of how pleasant the weather is in Rome at the present time. Thank you." Jack spreads his arms and sings. Jack, "Santa Lucia, Santa Lucia." Inside the Slaughtered Lamb, night. The rain is loud on the roof and beating on the window. The gathered continue to drink, play chess and darts, but all are silent and contemplative. Woman, "Perhaps they'll be safe in the rain." The chess player slams his hand on the table, shouts, "No one brought them here. No one wanted them here." Woman, "You could have told them." Dart player, "Are you daft? What do you think they'd say? They'd think it's mad." Woman, "Listen." The rain is subsiding. There's a faint howl. Did you hear it? "We must go to them." Dart player, "I heard nothing." Chess player, "Nor I." The camera lingers as the chess player's hard face shows the man's struggle. Another howl. The chess player turns suddenly. Outside the roadside on the moors at night, David and Jack are now completely out of sight from East Proctor, surrounded by darkness and wet. There's a light drizzle. They are standing listening. The drizzle stops. Jack, "Did you hear that?" David, "I heard that." Jack, "What was it?" David begins to walk, Jack with him. David, "Could be a lot of things." Jack, "Yeah?" David, "A coyote." Jack, "There aren't any coyotes in England." David, "The Hound of the Baskervilles?" Jack, "Pecos Bill?" David, Heathcliff. Jack, Heathcliff didn't howl. David, nobody was on the moors. Jack, it's a full moon. Beware the moon. Another howl. This is one long and loud. It is very inhuman noise, terrifying and closer this time. Jack, I vote we go back to the slaughtered lamb. David, yeah. They're both visibly worried and walk briskly back from where they just came. After a bit of fast walking, they are getting nowhere. They stop out of breath. David, we're lost. Another blood-curdling howl. Jack, shit. David, what is that? David, I don't know. Come on. Jack, come on where? David, anywhere. I think we should just keep moving. A growl, a low guttural growl, comes from out of the darkness. We stay on the boys, but we hear something out there. It starts to walk. David, it's moving. Jack, it's circling us. And indeed it is. The boys strain to hear its 4 footfalls and they turn slowly, following it. A snarl. Jack, fuck. We hear the wolf monster stop, for that's what it is. We know it's there even though we have not seen it. It sits breathing heavily. David, what's the plan? Jack, nervously. Plan? David, not to relax himself. Let's just keep walking. They do, and David keeps talking as they walk. David, that's right, a lovely stroll in the moors, tra-la-la. Isn't this fun? The thing stalking them seems to speed up. The boys hesitate as they sense it runs past them. It stops. David, it's in front of us. Jack, do you think it's a dog? Jack and David strain to see what waits ahead of them. Boys POV. Something is waiting in the darkness. Its hulking shape is barely discernible, but its eyes glow eerily and its breath is visible. Jack, oh shit, what is that? David, a sheepdog or something. Turn slowly and let's walk away. The boys keep talking as they move faster and faster. Jack, nice doggy, good boy. David, walk away, Jack. Jack, walking away, yes sir. Here we are, walking away. They're in full outrun by now. After a few minutes' flight, they stop, panting. David, see anything? Jack, no. A moment of quiet, then the howl. David, it sounds far away. Jack, not far enough. Come on. They walk briskly. David, Jack, yeah? David, where are we going? Jack, I'll tell you when we get there. David, well, I'm glad whoa! David shouts as he slips suddenly in the mud, scaring Jack and us, and himself a great deal. He lays startled on the wet ground for a moment, then he and Jack laugh. Jack, you really scared me, you shithead. David, are you going to help me up? Jack takes David, extends his hand to help him up when the wolf monster springs. Outside the moors at night, the lunging beast brings Jack down in one fell swoop. David falls back on his ass. Jack is screaming and struggling as he is torn to shreds. David scrambles to his feet and runs in complete panic. Jack screams and the wolf roars combine. Jack, Jesus, F. David, please help me. Please, David, shit, help me, oh God. Outside the roadside on the moors at night, David runs and runs. Finally, he falls out of breath. David, Jack, oh my God, Jack. He gets up and runs back and finds Jack a torn, bloody mess on the ground. He stares in horror. David, Jack. Outside at night, various flash cuts. The wolf springs. The camera adopts David's POV as he fights the dark, savage shape on top of him. Fangs clamp down on his shoulder when shots ring out and hulking form rolls off of him. Outside the roadside on the moors, night. David, dazed and bloody, looks and sees the men from the slaughtered lamb armed with shotguns and torches running towards him. Looking over at his attacker, instead of a wolf, he sees a very old naked man laying in the mud, riddled with bullet holes. As the villagers crowd around, David falls back and faints. Fade out. This was a great movie. I really enjoyed it when it first came out back in the 80s. I've been watching it ever since, and it's probably one of my favorite werewolf movies. Hey, if you like this episode of Juicyfroot Reviews, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you know the next time I drop a video. We'd love to have you join the Juicyfroot Reviews family. Also, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Follow the links in the description below. We appreciate your support as it provides Juicyfroot Productions the resources and access it needs to keep bringing you stimulating content like this. From us here at Juicyfroot Productions and Robb Entertainment Corporation, this does it for another fine episode of Juicyfroot Reviews. I'm your host, Juicy. Thank you for watching, and thanks for the memories. Follow me to the place